Good evening. With a pleasant end to the weekend, isolated thunder showers are in the forecast for tomorrow, with conditions cooling off for Wednesday and a little bit less rain for Tuesday. Right now, as the sun is starting to set, some nice conditions on College Avenue with temperatures in 67 degrees. So when you're waking up tomorrow morning, right now just on the cloudier side, but we can't rule out some isolated cells as rain chances increase going into the afternoon. So be sure to have the umbrella ready for tomorrow, as rain chances will come from the northwest and move into the region and beyond the scattered side going into the evening, as some moderate to even heavier bounce of rain for, say, the central and western counties. That moves southeast and intensifies into the southern counties, mostly in Menominee, Dickinson, and parts of Delta counties. That wraps up a little bit by Tuesday morning, but another round of light rain for Tuesday morning with winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour. When that wraps up by Tuesday afternoon, wind gusts will also play a factor with this system, as keep your looser items inside, and when it comes to the garbage cans, keep them secured, as wind gusts will ramp up in the next coming days with 10 to 15 mile per hour wind gusts in the west, but closer to 20. Those intensify going into Tuesday morning as that second round of rain moves in. Will rise into around 30 miles per hour at the north in the central and eastern counties. And that also wraps up right about late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's what we're seeing right now. So hazards at the moment. We can't rule out some isolated hail. Mostly right now going to be in the southern and western counties by tomorrow evening, with the occasional downpour in isolated areas, with precipitation amounts highest in the central counties and closer to 2 inches in, say, Escanaba, but say Menominee County, northern portions of it could receive a little bit more than 2 inches and a little bit less, around a half an inch in the central, either eastern and western counties. And as things progress, when that second wave of rain moves in, cooler air from the north comes down, but warmer air from the west approaches on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures going into the next couple of days will remain seasonal and warm going into tomorrow in the mid to high 70s. But on Tuesday, when that round of rain comes in, cools temperatures down into the 60s and 50s for those near the lakeshore. But we return to seasonal air when we get to Wednesday and Thursday. That's what we're looking at right now. We can expect a few changes going forward. But for tonight, low 50s to low 60s, no 30s. So can definitely turn off the heat for tonight. Central counties, mid to high 50s, and eastern counties with low to mid 50s. As for tomorrow, definitely on the warmer side for those on the Wisconsin border, closer to 80 degrees in Iron River. That's why a lot of those storms in the western counties will become more intense in the evening because of that warm air. Central counties mid to high 70s, and eastern counties with lower 70s, but we can't rule out some higher 70s in the inland portions. The week ahead, temperatures cool down into the 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but we rise back up into 70s for Thursday and Friday, with our next chances of rain slated for Friday. But right now, looking on the more intense side for Monday, but a little bit less for Tuesday. It was looking more widespread for Tuesday, but thankfully it's now kind of shifted to just one day now, Clint.
Yeah, it seems that way. Potentially some hazards when going into work tomorrow, but always to be on the lookout for. Thank you, Cameron.